Electric vehicles, are they the dream cars of the future or a long-term gamble you're not ready to take? Today, we are diving into the good, the bad, and the downright ugly truths of EV ownership. If you're thinking about going electric, you're going to want to stick around because it's not all electrifying news. Now, let's start with the good, shall we? Yes, let's start with the shiny side up of the coin. What makes EVs so appealing? First is the smooth driving experience. I mean, driving an EV is like gliding on a cloud. There's no throttles to open and no combustions to hold you up. It's essentially just electrons through a wire and boom, instant torque and neck-snapping acceleration. Chef's kiss. And even better, they are whisper quiet. No more engine growls, just peaceful cruising. And also lower running costs. How about the cost of running it day to day? Almost non-existent. You'll never have to spend $5 a gallon for gas ever again because a fuel charge is cheap, especially if you do it at your own house. We're talking between $5 and $15 worth of energy. Oh, and maintenance? Forget oil changes and brake pad replacements for years. EVs are as low maintenance as it gets when it comes to routine stuff. If you like the environment, well, it has its benefits as well, but also it doesn't benefit the environment. One sec on that though, because it does. Let's not forget the eco appeal. Reduced emissions means that you're doing your part for a cleaner, greener future, and you can brag to your hippie friends why you don't have to ride a bike and why you're better than them. And hey, government incentives, they don't hurt either. Okay, and real quick, have you ever pictured yourself sliding behind the wheel of a supercar, hearing the engine roar, and feeling all eyes on you? Well, guess what? The Ideal Collective right now is your new home for automotive dreams. And yes, signing up to win an Ideal car is completely free. Join today for your chance to win the very first Ideal car that we are giving away, like this one. Links in the pinned first comment down below. Go sign up, spots are limited, and enjoy the rest of the show. But for every good, there's also a bad or tree. And the first, it's not all smooth sailing. And here's what you really need to know about EV ownership before you buy one, or you probably already know if you have one. First is the charging infrastructure woes, because they are unreliable public chargers all throughout the country. Firstly, public chargers can be frustratingly unreliable. Research shows that many chargers are offline or malfunctioning at any given time. Combine that with the fact that different charging networks require their own apps or memberships, and it's like navigating a maze just to top off your car. Also, limited availability. I mean, sometimes you might not even be able to find a charger station. While gas stations are on nearly every corner, public EV chargers are few and far between in rural and suburban areas. And if you're on a road trip, finding a charger along your route can feel like a scavenger hunt. And if you run out of your luck, well, I guess the 2 tow truck drivers in the area are going to be your new best friends. Also, long wait times. I mean, even if you do find a working charger, there's no guarantee it's going to be available. Lines of EVs waiting for a charge can throw a wrench into your plans, and it is increasingly common to see now that EVs are so much more accessible. And you also have to factor in charging speed variability. Because say you find an open working charger, even then, charging times vary significantly. A level 1 home charger can take over 24 hours to fully charge a depleted battery. Even with a level 2 charger, you're looking at possibly several hours. Fast chargers can speed things up, but aren't always compatible with or good for your battery. Of course, EVs and chargers are consistently getting faster and better at charging, but it could still be several years and even decades before an EV charging grid is integrated as gas stations are now. And then, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the battery limitations. Because speaking of batteries, well, that leads me to this next point, real world range issues. Advertising ranges often don't match reality. EPA figures are tested in ideal conditions with everything running absolutely smoothly, but run it in cold winter or hot summer and say bye-bye to about 20 to 30% of your range right off the bat. Oh, and a long highway trip, towing, same story. EVs are incredibly sensitive, like me, to driving conditions though, which makes planning longer trips involve doing math. Which makes you have to do math when planning longer trips, which I don't really know how to do math, so need I say more. Also, battery degradation. And all that stress of charging as fast as possible and working through tough conditions can slowly drain the efficiency of your battery. Like your smartphone, EV batteries lose capacity over time. That shiny 300-mile range might drop to 270 miles after a few years and keep declining from there. Just like old cars might only make 80% of its original horsepower, the EV's performance will drop as well. Now, while this doesn't render the car unusable, it does mean more frequent charging and reduced resale value. And then you have the climate control efficiency, because additionally, using climate controls can reduce your range significantly. If you live in a place with extreme weather, you're going to need to factor this into your daily driving plans. Preconditioning the cabin while still plugged in, it can help, but it's just one more thing to think about. I will say though, battery technology, it's always evolving, with manufacturers working on more durable and efficient designs to improve long-term ownership, but we're just simply not there yet. And since I've been looking to buy an EV for the ideal garage, there are some upfront costs that I want to talk about. Because all the stuff, it's situational, right? Well, yes, but there's some things that you simply cannot avoid, like the premium prices that you pay for these things. I mean, EVs typically cost more than their gas-powered counterparts, and while incentives can help, they don't fully bridge the gap. The average EV price is still out of reach for many buyers. And then, have you ever called your insurance agent about insuring a Tesla? Yeah, not good, because there's insurance costs, and the higher repair costs means higher insurance premiums. And while EVs boast a great safety rating, the expense of repairing damaged batteries or electronics adds up quickly. And then there is the hidden maintenance costs as well, because here's something that you might not think about: tire cost. Sure, you're saving on oil changes, but EV tires wear out faster due to the vehicle's weight. And replacing those specialized tires, well, it ain't cheap. And then for the ugly, hard truths of EV ownership. Because if you're an EV type of person, which I'm warming up to it, you could probably get over these things I've mentioned so far, but I gotta break it to you, it gets uglier. Here's the real dangers you gotta watch out for. High repair costs. EVs are simpler in theory, just a battery and an electric motor, right? But the reality is, it is far more complicated than you'd think. Cooling systems, advanced electronic, and proprietary parts means that repairs are anything but straightforward. And you know what that means. Money will be flying out of your wallet if something goes wrong. Then you have the suspension and the brakes. And just like the tire situation we mentioned, the added weight of EVs can put more stress on other components like brakes and suspension, meaning those minuscule routine repair costs can actually show up faster than a normal gas car. Plus, independent mechanics often just plain lack the tools or expertise to service EVs, forcing you to rely on dealerships, which are notorious for charging premium rates. They're not called the dealership for nothing. Tesla owners in particular, though, frequently report long wait times and high bills for repairs. And also, we really don't know the long-term reliability, because the truth is, this could just be the beginning. I mean, let's face it, EVs haven't been around long enough to prove their longevity. Will they last 15 years, 20 years? No one really knows, since true mass market EVs have only been a thing for barely a decade. And the uncertainty can be a deal breaker for cautious buyers. What we do know is that batteries degrade over time, and while manufacturers offer warranties for 8 to 10 years, once that warranty is up, you're on your own. A replacement battery pack can cost upwards of $10,000, a bill that could easily exceed the cost of a vehicle after several years, which brings me to the biggest issue: resale value concerns. Have you seen bumper stickers like "Elon sunk my resale value" or the anti-Elon Tesla Club? Yeah, resale value. EVs are notorious for depreciating faster than gas-powered cars, especially after the battery warranty expires. I mean, Google used Tesla Model 3s that are just a couple years old. You're gonna find shockingly low prices for cars that aren't even close to 100,000 miles. It could be because buyers are wary of older EVs due to the potential cost of battery replacement, effectively making them a ticking time bomb, or hell, maybe the used EV market just isn't there yet. But the way I look at it is, would you buy like an iPhone 5 today, or even like an iPhone 11? Or would you just buy new? Yeah, right? With the resale values being so low, it makes it harder for new EV buyers to justify spending $50K, for example, on a car that will only sell for $25K in a year or two. That's another case of the EV industry needing to grow up a little bit before prices are normal and justifiable. And then you also have, well, the software and connectivity issues, because we should also talk about how all that tech in your EV can turn into a nightmare. Modern EVs are essentially computers on wheels, and like any computer, they're prone to bugs. Over-the-air updates can fix issues, but sometimes introduce new ones. Plus, some features require paid subscriptions, which can add up over time and is quite frankly pretty ridiculous to me. But hey, even with all that in the mindset, at least EVs perform really well, right? You'd be right. Mostly. Of course, EVs make up some of the quickest cars in the world, and they're actually getting increasingly better in the driver's car, sports car segment as well. But if we're talking everyday use performance, kind of another story. For example, towing. While some EVs can tow, most are not designed for heavy-duty loads. Add a trailer or heavy cargo, and you're undoubtedly going to see a sharp drop in range and maybe even an error message on your dash. And as for off-roading or harsh driving conditions, well, it's not ideal. I mean, look at the Cybertruck, Tesla's supposedly do-it-all super truck that redefines the meaning of the segment. And yet you will find video after video of the Cybertruck getting stuck in the snow, spinning tires when beached in the sand, and a whole lot of other things that don't scream badass. Of course, that is just one EV, but it really boils down to all that battery weight making tough terrain a huge task. And overall, the EV industry just not being old enough to have mastered the whole utility vehicle thing yet. So, is an EV right for you and me? Well, for me, I think so. I'm gonna try to find one for under 10 grand. What about you? Is the EV your next ideal car, or are you better off waiting? I mean, here's the bottom line. If you love cutting edge tech, smooth drives, and lower running costs, EVs, it might be perfect for you. But if you're not ready to deal with the challenges, unreliable chargers, range anxiety, hidden maintenance costs, and potential resale value issues, you might want to hold off. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you ready to go electric, or do the drawbacks have you thinking twice? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you own one, well, let me know your experience with the good, the bad, and the ugly, and tell me whether or not I should buy something for around 10 grand. Also, if you enjoyed the vid, like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Check out these Ideal vids over here. I'm Brad, this is Ideal. We'll catch you next week, and promise you one thing, keep living the ideal lifestyle.